We should not be as reliant upon cash, because then that rewards again the rich and punishes those who don't have those financial resources. When that's not ultimately the question, they could be just as innocent as the next person.
We feel like bail is not a necessity. Money shouldn't determine if a person is incarcerated or not. And bail tends to be used more towards people of color as a bargaining chip, so to speak. If you got the money, you can get out. If you don't, then you're gonna have to sit here, whereas other people might not experience that so much, or they got the money, so they can get out too. So if you're innocent until proven guilty, why are you incarcerated? That's the whole objective of being innocent until you're proven guilty. You haven't been proven of anything. You probably haven't even got a court date. You probably haven't even seen a judge. But being that you didn't have $75,000 or $7,500, now you can't go home. That doesn't make sense for me. So Black Lives Matter is all about ending money bail. We have gotten some backlash about some of the issues with the bail reform referendum that we got approved, partly because people want to see people sit in jail for certain things that they do.
I was approached by various community organizations, both here locally as well as nationally, about how the bail setting process in Shelby County, Tennessee was violative of the Tennessee Constitution and statutes. At its core, every single person, except for those who are charged with capital offenses in Tennessee, is entitled to a bond of some sort of bail. Before a bond can be set, you are entitled to, as the statute requires, a hearing so that whoever sets your bond or conditions of bail can hear out all the facts to determine those two central questions to be answered: likelihood of appearance in court and being a danger to the community. And so what we were doing here in Shelby County was extremely off. It was not in line with what the statute requires, and that's still the statute today. And so the organizations with whom we partnered to approach the county representatives and say, this is something that we cannot continue to allow. And so those meetings began after a demand letter was sent out in December of 2021. We met for 2 days, the former district attorney, Amy Wyrick, judicial commissioners, a couple of the elected judges, Shelby County mayor, the sheriff was there one of those days. We all got in a room and we met to craft a system that complied with Tennessee law. Nothing more, nothing less, that would allow a person to be heard so that money would not be a driving factor or always the predetermining factor of a person's release, as well as give alleged victims a chance to be heard, or any police officers who want to come down. I'm a criminal defense attorney. We remind others and also have to remind ourselves to keep in check that this just does not have an impact solely on the person who is accused, but it has an impact on every single family member, every single person who wants to see that person out. It has obviously financial consequences because that person can no longer work and provide for the family, and then they have to come up with resources that are already stretched thin because of the loss of their income, and then come up with funds to make it. So the part that is unfair about money being a central part of our system is that it rewards the rich, or does not handicap the rich, because they can pay. But those who are poor, whether they are less guilty or more likely to be convicted, they don't have a chance because the money factor is a huge impediment to them securing their freedom.